Yeah, so I had a conversation. You spoke to all of us. I think it was a couple of weeks ago.
I had a question for the guys. My question was, do you think that war is like a necessary evil? Is it necessary for in society, especially now at this time? Do you think we've moved past that stage of like having to fight when we can reach a stage where the world is like at peace, or do you think it's necessary to still have it at this time?
Can I just answer it flatly? No, war has never been necessary.
Yeah, but
You guys
we're
can
going to
answer.
dissect it. It depends. Oh, sorry. On what you view as a necessity.
I mean,
Like
like
the
a necessary
individual.
evil, as in, like, do you think that society can go forward, or like we can relinquish this bondage that, like, how can I say, the world we live in has
The
to
war.
war?
Yeah.
Minis,
That's the level
can I respond again?
Stop asking. Respond.
War is essentially
A gang fight.
no, not even that. War is something that's supposed to feed capitalism.
Yeah, that's what I
It
was
takes me
getting
to
to.
something that I saw, like maybe this year sometime, where it said that as a populace on Earth, we don't envision ourselves living in a system other than capitalism.
Yeah.
So the reason why you would ask such a
Fear-mongering.
question speaks to that, is that you don't see us as a populace not having war. Now, why is
Yeah,
that?
that's
First,
what
you
I'm
must.
saying. The necessity is for capitalism.
Yeah.
I would say that because, like, at the end of the day, not every war is fought in cause of capitalism.
But it
Some
is.
people have to fight war to protect what
Yeah.
Why?
they have.
Why do they have to fight
Because
a war?
it happens, bro. People invade your country. It happens. It's been happening
Yeah,
since the
but
beginning.
now
Like,
you have
imagine
to
you,
look at-
like, we can go back to the past and say, imagine you own a farm,
Yeah.
and this group of people wants to come and take
But
your
who
land.
is the group of people? Capitalism.
Not necessarily. Just like, I mean, like, basic. I mean,
No,
like,
I'm
going back.
generally telling you that most wars are between capitalism, ideology wars. That's what it goes
It's
about.
people that want more always.
Yeah.
Are we speaking specifically 20th century wars? 18th
No, you can
century onwards?
war. We speak
War.
war.
Because we
General.
can go back to the beginning of time and we can say war has been ingrained in man.
Yeah.
In
But
mankind.
no,
yeah,
Violence
that's
is
you're talking about
ingrained in mankind.
kingdoms.
Yeah.
Kingdoms.
But
yeah.
again, that's again
Yeah,
about, it's about resources.
Yeah, it's kingdoms. It's about ideologies and resources, and then you want more. But like since the birth of man, like you never hear of wars when the first people started in Africa or whatever.
There were.
There
There
were,
had
there
to be
were.
Yeah,
wars.
let's go. Let's hear.
There had to be
I'm
wars.
sure
Oh, there were power wars in the Bible.
Look at the Egyptians,
the
bro. That
Bible,
was,
come on,
how
the
long
Bible.
ago
Who
was
wrote the
that,
Bible?
bro? Like the Egyptians and the Romans and
Nah,
the.
I'm not talking about Egyptians and Romans. That is kingdoms and ideologies fighting. That's the point I made. I'm talking about before that, since the birth. You don't hear of the earliest Homo sapien wars, nothing like that. It was once people got into factions, cults, basically.
Yeah.
And then they
Different
then
tribes,
they, then
different
they,
tribes.
yes, then
Yes,
they don't,
I was-
then they
yeah,
won't accept
yes,
another
tribes,
one,
yeah.
and they would want to change you, like capitalism versus communism.
But
That's what drives war.
at that time we didn't have pen and paper.
We
and
did,
we didn't
they-
have the ability to log
But we-
everything that happened in
They
the past.
did though. They have paintings and stuff to show enough.
But I
they
mean,
do
like,
show death and
when
stuff
we
on
didn't
there.
have that, like, when
Now
it
we
was,
do. There is cave
They
paintings.
are, but they are. But a lot, Minnie's saying we lost a lot as well, man. Not
yeah, but you
everything
can't
could
say
be
that there's not
recorded.
one sign of it. If there's so many signs of
Look,
so many things.
Ancient Egyptians did fight amongst each other, man.
But that's
what I know
factions,
about.
that's kingdoms,
the
that's you know what I
aliens.
mean. Yeah, but I mean war, like you're saying, it's ideologies to me, and it's a lot of fear mongering.
It's a function of capitalism.
Yeah,
I was going to
it
say
is,
now,
it is.
just to answer one of the questions, if war is necessary, I think a lot of, in 21st century now, the impression I get is that there's always this looming threat or this fear of war, like you said, fear mongering. But I
fear-mongering.
don't think that anything is going to happen, wishfully speaking, touch wood, that anything could take place in the near future purely because of the financial aspect of it. The damages and what it does to the entire
Yeah, but-
machine of the world.
Febs, are you aware that there are wars currently happening right now?
Yeah, but those wars are kind of like set. Okay, there's another question, another statement. Those wars almost seem like they set to sustain the machine.
But you understand
exactly.
that
It's
you're
still a
saying
war
that you
for the
don't see a
machine,
war
though.
coming, but it's actually
But like
No.
a massive war, like I'm talking like World War
Now,
One,
I
World
wanna
War
say
Two, in
something.
cities like
So
in
look,
London
in the Middle,
or in
in the
or
Middle
New
East,
York.
that
there was
in
a
the
war
Middle
that
East,
spanned a
that's-
decade,
Yeah,
10
you know,
years.
it's just a war that is not
But that's
on
massive.
on your peripheral. They're not
That's
feeding
massive.
it to you.
Okay.
10
People
years is a
going
long
crazy.
time.
Ten
That's
years is a
Let's
long
make
war.
figures.
Yeah.
a long
Check
time.
your weight. Let
10
me
years
just
is a long
say, going back to wars, right? This the way this conflict started with Russia and Ukraine. World War
NATO.
One started the same way, man, where it was just between two countries, but those countries were allies with other countries, man.
Not even.
And then, like, for example, like the US now are not going to put troops on the ground in Ukraine, but they're supplying weapons and stuff.
They're making
They're not
Ukraine
even
do the
allies with
dirty work.
Ukraine, you know
basically.
that.
So
That's why I said not even, because they are not.
They're
now
not allies.
it just takes a small thing to happen for
assassination
someone
of
else to
someone.
get involved.
Nah,
and
look.
then when you put boots on the ground,
me-
then it could
let me try and
escalate to an
simplify it for you.
actual World War III. Man.
Let me simplify it for
So
you.
we're not too far away,
Yeah, get it? Shoot.
but
Nah,
we
I'm
are
finished
far
now.
away. You know.
I'll
what I mean?
simplify
Now the
it.
United States not that stupid. They won't let it get to that point.
They're
They'll
not
keep
that
They're not in
threatening.
control.
They are
They're
in
not in
control.
control of everything.
They
Let me-
need to
let me
put boots
simplify
on
it
the
for you.
ground. Remember,
War-
you said, for instance, let's use your analogy, Wayne. You said that
So what you
as
say?
soon as they put
Nah,
boots
I'm
on the
not
ground, as in the capacity of
Not
the
at
US
all.
government, then it will escalate to World War III levels. But now I'm saying that they're not that stupid.
They're not that
They
stupid
won't
to
put
do it
their boots
again.
on the ground because they know now it's a fair game for Russia to actually
I understand.
escalate things.
Yeah,
You
because then it's a
understand?
understand. Move on.
direct threat.
Yeah.
So
But
we
that,
can-
let me simplify it. It's a gang fight. Same like you see here in the hood. Those people are fighting for that territory and that resources. Like at the hood, bro, everywhere. Where you see gangs, right?
Why
They
can't you
just
say
call it
suburb?
something else. It's not a suburb, bro. There's
Gangs
no
exist
gang fight.
Gang
everywhere,
fights in the
bruh.
suburb.
Come on,
period.
bro.
Oh, with trolleys.
Ah, come on, bro. So then this is what they're doing. They are gangs, communist capitalism. That's a gang on its own. And they want that territory to sell you their drugs. So if they don't want someone on their turf or getting close to their turf, it's going to start a war. That's basically what's happening. So Ukraine is not an ally. So
Of
why is
NATO.
NATO in Ukraine? They're not supposed to be there. So to Russia, it's like, hey, here's this gang coming closer.
Yeah,
You're nuts.
exactly.
Step back, bro.
And they're doing what any proper nation would do,
Would
defend
do.
yourself. Now just listen,
Yeah.
now I know the US is not stupid to put boots on the ground, but not too long ago, Zelensky, the Malnai,
The Ukraine
he must
president.
now bomb Poland and he must say that it was the Russians that did it, man. Now something so fucking small like that
Yeah,
could start,
but-
it could escalate
but you
something.
see, that's-
he's a Malnai.
That's
He
where the
will-
propaganda steps
Do you know
in.
what I mean? Like he is a Malnai. So like, I'm not saying the US is, Biden's not going to do it, but some small...
Look at it this
Yeah,
way,
but
Wayne.
like they-
Look
they
at it this way,
controlling
Wayne.
it, man.
Look at it this
They
way, Wayne.
putting the plug.
At the start of 2022, you know, when Russia did eventually be aggressive towards Ukraine, there was this huge campaign to get all of the major European countries or members, member states, to get involved. Have they gotten involved? To be honest,
No, they haven't.
why
The
not?
US, you can't say it's
why didn't they get
strategically
involved?
planned.
Tell us.
Because they know what's gonna happen if they get involved. Then it's gonna
It's
become
going to escalate to
Yeah.
World War III.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so they
So they do
played
it
like
like a
they were gonna.
sub-war,
Yes, it
basically.
seemed like they were gonna give weapons, blah, blah, blah. But then it ended up they just like
No, but the US
quietly
has
stepped
been
away.
funding though.
So
They
are
have
you, are you
100%
saying that?
been funding,
Are
yeah.
you saying that the fear we spoke of?
Yes, fear
It's World War
mongering.
III.
is preventing?
It's like it started
World
from
War III?
the Cold War. It was fear mongering since the Cold War.
No, I heard Fab's question. Fear is not preventing World War III. Fear is keeping people captive, in the sense so that they don't see that actually this war.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's
like you
unnecessary.
say.
Okay.
So you
So it's not
plant the fear
preventing
of, like, let me say, communism. We don't know first-hand experience of communism. We don't. You can't say because everything you've seen was fear mongering because you get it from the West.
No, let me-
I'm not saying it's not true or anything.
I'm not saying. Let me say something. I'm not saying apartheid was good, right? But apartheid was a form of
Jesus.
communism. Let's be honest.
Jesus.
No.
Apartheid, where,
No.
where the state was providing, it's just
No.
that it was
So
was
what is
segregated.
communism?
It was,
Man pulled
it
the
was
Kanye.
What is-
segregated.
communism isn't segregation.
No, I'm saying
Communism-
apartheid wasn't communism.
Communism
because it was
means
segregated.
the state-owned entities
Yes.
does not belong to someone. You can't profit
Yes,
off it. It
I-
belongs to the people.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that this person can't get rich or that person because there
Yeah,
are rich people in
yes,
Russia. That's what
yes.
it means. But that is anti-capitalist because that means someone can't take this and skyrocket their profits.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
So the apartheid wasn't
no,
like
man,
that.
no, apartheid was, but
How?
only for like 10% of the people. I'm not saying it was communism. I'm saying it's because you
the
said we
ideology
had a
they,
taste of
they
it.
adapted, not the oppression, basically. That's what I
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Devil's advocate time.
Okay.
told you.
You say if you're wondering if war is necessary, right? I'm gonna say yes, because I also gonna get great films. I also gonna get next Call of Duty game.
Wow.
I love war movies. I love war games.
Not all.
Why
but
do we
there's a
love
few.
violence?
You're
We
men.
do, look here, but that's in us, man.
you-
You know what I mean? That's in us just to love violence. Like
Can't
Is
be
it?
in us.
Is
You watch
it?
can't.
we get on
it
UFC. It's
Because
lekker to
we've
see
been,
mense fight.
we've
programmed
groomed like this.
to,
But
right
in the
there.
school, yeah. Like
We
if-
see this
if you
sport,
see mense
boxing
fighting
and
on the
shit.
school. And
You
then,
didn't. So you came out the womb loving fighting.
obviously not.
Exactly.
Like,
so
How
you
did you feel when you got smacked as a baby?
Like
Like
the first thing you get in
Like,
the world is
motherfucker, you
clap,
smacked me,
baby.
turn on him.
You hated at first, but then like
fight or
They
flight?
engrave the fighting in you, bro. You're like, yeah.
Fight
But
or
it's
flight?
but it's lekker though. It's lekker to watch.
No, it's
people fight.
entertaining.
Look,
Yes.
all I'm saying is I'm tired of seeing World War II movies and World War One. I want to see
World War Three, no.
That's gonna be
Okay.
like this. Then it's like an information war.
Let me
bruh.
ask something. Let me
It's
ask
definitely
something.
gonna be an information
That's-
war, bruh.
that's the point that I wanted to
Fibs,
make.
Fibs, that's a good point you raise. You want to see World War Three. Why don't we flip the script and say, why don't we see wars in the Avatar universe? Wouldn't that be fascinating as well?
It is
No,
quite
no, no,
fascinating.
no,
Avatar
no,
2
no.
is
No,
a
man,
good
it's
film.
just an analogy.
I don't
It's
know,
an
but
I don't
analogy.
relate to that Nayas, that blue Nayas that have sex with
You
animals.
don't know that. Imagine they played
Wow.
those. Imagine they created
They
that
have
sort of
sexual
movie now
animals.
for decades.
Their hair connects with the animals, bro. They do the
That's some
same
sex.
thing when they have. They do the same thing when they have sex.
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Indigos.
nah. I'm
Yes.
watching a different
Wow.
movie then.
That's
No, they do,
crazy.
man. They do.
Orangutans.
I promise you.
Nah, he was focused on
It's
those
weird.
scenes. He
You
was
watch
like,
a parody version, bro. It's a
as
different
soon
version
as
of that. Digital Underground. It's a buzz.
Check here, but look here. War movies are lekker, but a World War III is not going to be lekker because it's going to be fought. with
we're not going to
fucking-
see that movie.
But
Bruh,
information.
Yeah,
bombs
we
at
live in the
end.
war.
It won't be
We live in
bombs,
the
bruh. It's information. You
Are
are in
we?
the information war
Are we?
where you can see two ideologies are going at each other. Now it's clouded by capitalists. So you only see US and English news. You don't see the other side of the story. So they're winning that war so
information.
far.
I think the war that we're fighting in our generation is more of like you said, like an information war.
Definitely.
They're attacking our like psychological
Yeah, so you
mind.
can't wake up and see because that's the thing. They fear this because I think when was it?
Yeah,
when
and
the
just
hippies,
before you go
the
on,
Vietnam War.
so-
That's when people realized and they got mad backlash from everyone
look,
because
Nick-
people woke up and they were like, "Nah, this is not cool." So now they need to tackle you with the
And
information
what you said,
see
no,
first.
Neptune. So your point about that the current war is World War III, an information
Yeah, it
war.
is World War III,
They're
but it's an
using
information
fear
war.
to make us
Yes.
actually think that we're going to get into a physical war
Yes.
soon.
So let's rather listen because there's the consequence.
And
will
that's the
lead to.
information that we're listening
But
to.
at
that's
the
causing
same
the
time,
war.
distracting us from all the other cack that they're doing in other
100%.
countries.
Yeah.
Making
100%.
yo,
It's all
Yo,
over
it's
resources
bad.
and land,
It's
bruh.
bad.
So we're not going to get new movies now. Fuck.
We are. We're gonna get the social
But you guys
network.
just don't want to buy into
yeah,
Avatar.
We're gonna get a new
We're
social
going to have to
media
buy
app.
into the Avatar universe, people connecting.
And having sex with animals. Jeebus.
They're not having sex with
But
animals.
look, war did shape culture as well, bro.
Yeah,
Like food,
definitely.
clothing, you know, like
Canned food.
Camo.
Canned
colonialism.
food.
like
Canned
like
food
like
is
the
war
way the
food.
Brits eat, bro. Fucking beans on toast, bro. They think they're still in
Hummus.
World
We
War
would
II,
never have
baby.
curry here, bro.
It's a
Kaki,
We
military.
wouldn't have bunny
kaki,
chows.
kaki, wait.
Kaki, kaki.
Kaki, isn't it?
Say that again.
Oh,
What is it?
kaki.
Is it Corky?
Yeah,
Kaki.
kaki.
Nasi
Yes,
kaki.
definitely. I'm gonna go with kaki.
No ways.
Oh, we said we
I'm gonna
claim
go with
khaki
kaki.
now.
I'm gonna go with kaki, bro.
We're in
Put
khaki pants. Nah.
Too cocky.
Yes, sir.
Not a
Who
chance.
says
But,
you must say it like cocky?
but it
don't
did
know,
shape
bro.
culture, bro.
I
Like,
don't know. It just felt more elegant.
Like-
Oh, elegant. What's elegant? Please tell me what's
Ooh,
elegant.
it's a downward slope over here.
Check
Jeebus.
here. Do you know that? Well,
I'll
here's the
let
other
you
thing.
go.
Do you know that ants and humans are the only known things to go to war? Ants go to war, bro.
yeah,
It's
they
fucking
do. They
just,
have
bro.
factions. Yeah, I see
That's
that.
what's bad.
Like in a
Colonies.
movie.
They have
No,
colonies.
yeah, like they will go to war
Like you
against
watch
like
that
the
Nat
other
Geo,
ant
then
colonies.
there's a narrator.
Bro,
He's
dope.
crazy though. He's like,
The
oh,
Ants
yeah.
movie was so peaceful though.
Ah, fuck the ants.
Bro, they fought against the fucking wasp.
Oh, see, invaders. They fought invaders.
Yes, bro.
The capitalists.
What were
Right,
they after?
telling video
Wait,
all day,
wait,
wow.
what were they after? What are those
The-
invaders after?
The
You
honey
remember?
or the queen, I don't know.
No, they were
Resources.
after their resources. They wanted
Oh.
to take control
So
of
do
the
you have?
colony.
No, not.
Sly Stallone is one of the
supposed to-
voices of the Ants,
That's
wasn't he?
basically what's
Yes, he
happening.
was.
The people.
That's
Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite war though?
My favorite war.
Do you have a favorite war, favorite command? I'm just saying because
Yes,
bred
I do.
great men, tactical battles
do.
and stuff.
Dick Winters
Yeah, no, he
from
sounds.
Band of Brothers. He's the
Oh.
one that invented the pincer movement.
I thought Shaka Zulu did
I
that.
don't know the commander's name, but the one that thing.
Why is it funny, Wayne?
The Bull Zone, isn't it? The Bull Zone.
I know the
No,
pincer
No, it's
Who's
more
that?
to
That's the
pincer
government
movement,
name
eh?
he used there.
It's a flip.
I thought Shaka Zulu did that. The Bull
Edit
Zone.
that out.
Do you have a
Great
favorite
tactic.
war?
Yeah.
World War One.
Fuck, no, I
Now I
don't.
would go Vietnam. I
don't
love
have a
that they
favorite
got
war.
their ass
Because they
handed
got-
to them.
they lost.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
That's why you don't see much about it because they don't want to tell you.
The platoon.
They
is
don't
the
want to
last.
tell you. You see 1, 2 movies.
Nah, I would
but
say-
how many movies you see of World War II? Are you nuts?
Nah, the Civil War.
me.
American Civil War. That's my favorite war.
Well done. The war on drugs.
Nah, I
That
fuck
was
that
it.
shit.
Bro, we spoke
Snowfall.
about. We actually spoke about this, right? The war on drugs. They started it because Pablo was taking too much dollars, actual money out of America.
The war on drugs, to me, from what I got from it, is because the Nicaraguan war, they didn't want communism to spread in those other countries. So
That's another part of it.
yeah,
But
so
it
they
is-
funded. That's initially why they did the war on drugs, is so that they could fund that with the
At the
drug
same
money.
time, Pablo was taking a lot of actual dollars
Dollars.
out of America.
Yeah, he was. That man was like
See,
500
and that's
more.
why was the DA in fucking where the fuck's that guy from? Colombia. Why were they there? Americanized in
Nah,
Colombia.
Yeah, but
it's
but
what
it's
you
not-
said,
but look,
it's what
it comes from the
Neptune is
spread of
saying.
So the
communism
DA
because
was
Cuba,
taking
everything.
Yo.
Look, because at the end of the day, drug sales do make
Like they,
great physical
let me
money.
tell you something. The
So-
DEA or the CIA, they paid Malcolm X a visit when he was in Mecca.
Yeah, proof of this.
Yeah, you can go on the internet. They poisoned him even. It didn't kill him.
He-
But
he's
yeah,
back
they
later.
didn't kill him. Yeah, so they paid him a visit there because they said it's too big of a risk for him to make a speech about what's happening in America because Africa's rife now. It's there, communism can get it. Just to show you that they are in all these countries, but they infiltrated, they're there. So the fear of that was bigger than you can imagine, bro. It runs the world till
Look
this
what they
day.
did to Gaddafi, my bro. in
Yeah.
Libya.
Yo, I'll never forget that.
Look what they did to him.
I'm gonna say my favorite was the Anglo-Boer War.
Why?
Because we
It was like
handed
It was like the
the
last. We fucked the English up.
Yeah,
last
and secondly,
frontier.
it was the last time like whites and black people in South Africa fought together, probably.
The
like the first time, not the last
Afrikaners
time.
and the
Yeah.
Zulus.
mad
Fought
fact.
together.
First and last.
I got a mad fact. The Soviet Union, this is also why people didn't like them because they were more prone to giving women rights and stuff to do. They had like
We
a
don't
million
hear of
women. No, I know, there is proof. They had like a million
Wait,
women.
go back. Say
fighting.
that again. Say that again. Highlight that point. That's a very big point I need to highlight.
The reason why they also didn't like communism is because back then it gave women more power, more stature, things to do. You know how it was back then. This is a woman's role in capitalism. You can't do this. About a million women fought
For the
in
Soviets,
World War II
yeah.
for the Soviets.
They were
fought-
snipers
That's
actually.
crazy.
That's crazy. They were snipers, bro. They fought in.
Because they had more composure
Yes,
than the men.
and
I believe that.
their
Yo,
mental
that's-
state was
that's
better. They didn't
crazy.
act out rash in those moments.
And it's funny. It's funny because it's
Stalingrad
funny
And they still
because
do it now.
It's funny
They
because
still do it.
feminism.
Yeah, that's my favorite
But look,
battle.
the
Stalingrad.
ideology of feminism is being brought across as a Western ideology.
It's not exactly.
in the,
it's-
now, like in today's world.
yeah, it is though.
It is.
It is.
But after you said,
Oh, was I shouting too loud?
Nah, you actually got softer there when you said like.
Nah,
but nah, you're right.
But it is. Think about it, like how
they
they
try
can
to claim it.
how they can frame your mind so the West is good because they bring feminism, they bring women
Yeah.
into sports.
Where
But actually,
the communism didn't protest about it.
they did it
was a
before
thing.
and they
So-
did it away. They need to
so Bridget Nielsen's character in Rocky 4 was actually quite accurate then, because she was badass.
You're gonna have to
Who
refresh
the
my memory.
fuck's
Rocky IV.
Bridget
Oh,
Nielsen?
She was Dolph Lundgren's like
His
Oh, the
girlfriend,
tall one.
oh.
Yes, Stallone's ex.
Yeah.
Also, she married Flavor Flav.
Well done to Flavor Flav.
Rising in the raisin
It's
in
a
the sun.
random
She married
fact.
Flavor Flav.
But nah, minis like to answer your question, it's not necessary. Like we always say, it's cliche. People rap about it. The songs, like you're funding wars, but you can't fund the poor. It shows you the ideology behind who's fighting
happening
the war.
today.
Yes, literally happening
To this
today.
day.
To this day.
Bruh,
They
yeah.
literally like that Utah thing. Was it in Utah or Ohio?
Ohio,
Where with
yeah,
the
with the
water?
oil, with the spill of the
spill,
chemicals.
whatever,
Oh,
the
it was,
nuclear
yeah,
thing.
it was Ohio, yeah, the train that
asked,
fucked
they
up.
asked for funds from their own government. Biden said no, they can't. But then Biden sends like 500 million to Ukraine. It shows you.
For
But
weapons.
my thing is this, man. Like, look at it this way. There's always gonna be two sides to the story. There's always gonna be black and white. There's always gonna be
Yeah.
opposites.
So what my-
So
Yeah.
it's not the question of like, is it gonna be? Is it like necessary? It's. Oh, I believe that it's always gonna be there. If we're gonna have two opposing opinions
Yeah,
on
so-
something, so is it? My question is more. Will we ever have a world where everyone can have their own opinion and then
You
we
can't.
just live with it? And you this religion and
You
you,
won't.
that gender and
You
we
won't.
fine with that?
I don't think so.
People
You are
can't
such
live
a
with each
because-
other's,
Why?
each other's differences. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
man, 'cause
And
People
also,
can't
and
live with
also
each
I
other.
think humans are corruptible. They like power. So as
We're
soon
all
as
corruptible.
soon as someone wants more power on one side,
It's greed.
they're gonna
It's
thingy.
kind of human nature at
It
times.
is human nature.
Go back to
It's
like
done.
we said, the
Yeah.
innate nature of man is
Yeah, like
fighting.
you don't choose to
Cain
be
and
jealous.
Abel, the first of
You know what I
murder.
mean? You don't choose to
Wow.
be jealous of this one
Yeah.
or this skin. It just comes. You must choose to be like, nah, I'm not gonna hate on it.
But my,
jealousy is
my
there. It's
question
natural.
is again
Isn't
like
it a
the
form of
evolution
ego?
of man again.
Always
Natural.
definitely a form of ego. Yeah.
Or
So
the evolution
so,
of
so
man.
maybe you
Yeah,
can
like we came from points where like yo
But
man
that's
so
the
was
thing.
doing mad cock and then we developed now we still
That's what I
So,
was
developing.
gonna say.
so what
So-
we have to look at is the one thing that's always been in power. Until it's equally shared or it's on equal grounds, we'll never know.
So will we get to that point?
Not a chance. Not if we. Not
way
if
it
there's.
is now,
Not in the
nah,
information
nah.
era.
Not
Because
in
now
our
we
era.
only see
We
one
won't see
thing.
it.
We've
I
always
don't
only
think so.
seen one
But
thing.
you can't even go past a comment and not rage at it. Like, fuck it.
Nah,
You know what I
I
mean?
go past it these days, eh? Yo,
Yeah,
see
you
some
just
bad,
scroll. I'm
mad
tired.
comments.
I'm
Like
tired. bro.
even your family
lie.
members,
Don't lie.
you not
Don't lie,
tired.
man.
I'm
Wow.
very tired.
Come on.
You not tired. Whoa, hey, click the tongue.
Click at the top.
I'm not to get
I
assassinated.
stopped myself there, bruh. Yes.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story is not getting any fucking films now. Damn it.
Nah,
Change your perspective.
look here, they need to give us.
We're not gonna get that lead figure like Tom Hanks and Saving Private
Who's
Ryan
the
now.
lead
Like,
figure in
shit.
Avatar?
Yes,
Sam
Jake
Blue.
Sully. You know they're upset
Jake
about
Sully.
it, but yeah, what did I want to say now? Do you know another crazy stat?
Tell us.
Yeah, sorry, I was war binging. Yeah,
Man slept for like 2 hours last night.
that there was fake tanks and shit made.
Yes,
That's
to-
crazy,
to-
and fake spies, bro.
To
Where?
in World War Two.
in the UK, so
In the
so
UK,
like
yeah.
what they weren't prepared, man. The armies
They-
weren't
they were
prepared,
gonna
so
get
they
fucked.
needed to pretend to have like tanks and stuff.
And
to
it was
pretend
fake.
to mobilize because Hitler was sending planes over
Yeah.
to see like if their army
they-
is ready, man.
Shit. Yeah.
So they didn't know where the English were gonna invade. Like
That's
it was
crazy,
Normandy or there was another island, Calais. So they prepared at Calais, but the attack actually came at Normandy because there was a fucking there was cardboard boxes.
Bro,
as
there's footage
planes
of
and
it getting
stuff.
pushed over, full tanks. It's like,
But
just like this.
so like Hitler was so close
Crazy.
to actually winning the war, but they fucking cheated
Yeah,
him.
the
With
more
trick.
propaganda.
It's amazing actually. Oh, I get
So the biggest war I would say is propaganda.
I
Stuff
think
shit.
Hitler got out of
heavy
control.
Trojan. And also he was cocky because he didn't have to invade Stalingrad.
got
but
out of
wanted
control.
to-
Because he
wanted
was
to
going
beat-
past.
He wanted to beat Stalin.
Because it's
kill
got out-
Stalin.
he got
that's
out of
amazing.
control. He
He
got
got
out of
choked
control.
out.
And
Woman.
then fucking
Woman.
they destroyed him, bro.
I think he
they
got
did.
out of control.
But
was
now
amazing.
I would say it's.
And we got a great
would
game
never be
for it,
necessary.
guys. Call of Duty, forevermore.
It is
Call
a-
of Duty, yeah.
But it's in our nature to have.
It's yeah.
That's what we found.
It's not. It's the
I don't
system
think
we're
it's
in.
enough.
Okay, now look here.
But I
imagine-
like there's so much
No,
people in power.
no.
Why don't politicians make the right choices? Why did they
'Cause they
bomb
corrupted.
corporate bomb Vietnam?
Yeah, but
Innocent
look what you're
people.
asking, bro. You're asking us why are they corrupt? We don't have the answer for you. They're greedy.
Nah,
But
They're
I like
counts
jealous.
as money.
Same
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
Same thing
Like,
as you said.
we
Same thing
don't
as you
have
said.
the model answer for you on
Come-
based on them. That's their choice.
Can I get back to something that you said? Like, look, you said like, I don't know. I think we were talking earlier. Like, everyone's human, man. Like, we human.
Yeah.
Now I believe like what I have like
We need to
inside of me,
verify that.
everyone has inside of them. So like, you can't tell me now that you in your mind you're not thinking like, sure, my bro. I
Yeah,
like,
but
literally
I
killed
don't agree with that.
millions
though.
of people.
I believe everybody can be different.
Yeah,
And it's
but-
also your upbringing and how you were nurtured.
That,
That
too,
makes you think
no,
in
no,
a certain way.
and-
But then
and
why are
nurture
so many
and nature most.
powerful
that-
people or like powerful politicians fucked up?
Because
That's the
they
way
are
I
Why do you
nurtured
think?
that
Why do you
way.
think things are kept in families, bro? Why do you think certain families all
Yo.
are the certain way, bro?
I can
Every
bring this as
generation,
nurture.
Look here,
exactly,
We
bro.
spoke about UFC earlier.
nature
I can
and
bring this
nurture.
to sport as well. Some people are able to watch UFC. Some people are able to enjoy it. Some people hate it. Some people are able to fight. Some people can't stand the thought of fighting.
Yeah.
It just
That's what I'm
comes
saying.
down
to
to
who you are and nurture
to who you
nature.
are, how you nurture.
also-
No, some people are soft.
But
those politicians.
everyone
are
can agree when
hard.
you're being sick, man. Like if you were sick and like everyone know when they're
Nah,
doing
that's
wrong.
because that's what I'm
That's
saying.
now
That
when
depends on
your
your.
wires
That's
are
subjective
crossed.
to your ideology.
But it's saying that if someone
Is it
follows the
sick?
same
Yeah,
ideology
is
as
it
that
sick
person,
for
they're
that
gonna fall for it.
ideology or is it necessary for that ideology?
Also, these politicians are obsessed with the country, so they feel
They are,
patriotic.
bro. That's
man.
what I
They
was
feel like
gonna
what
say,
they do,
yes.
even if they're killing men, so they're doing it
was
for
necessary.
America, man.
Like,
You know,
why would you
That's,
care?
That's how they
that's buying
justify
into
it.
an ideology.
That's
yeah.
exactly like why would you
Gosh,
care
bro.
about the country instead of the people? You know what I mean? If you want to go fundamentally down to it, it's a human race and not different countries split up into one. That's the factions of the gang. That's what starts the gang war.
basically, we need aliens to come to South Africa.
Basically, what if we are the
Area
aliens
51.
since we're
We
going
need
there?
aliens to
Area
come
51.
invade so we can all unify
We are the
as
aliens,
one.
bro. We killed the dinosaurs when we landed.
Pussy,
We
man.
could have been here, but I'm saying we need
That's
other
a
aliens
bad
now
theory.
to come invade so we can all unify once more. So Will Smith can lead
Yeah.
us in one last battle,
But
Independence Day. Great film.
Uncle Load
From-
Shedding's gonna
from
eat us now,
Washington.
guys.
From Washington, eh?
Uncle Load Shedding's on his way. We need a war on load shedding, actually.
That's
Yo.
exactly what we
That's
That's
what
our
we need.
war.
That's our war. Till
that's
next
our
time,
war.
guys.
Yes.
That's
Peace
our
out.
culture.
Peace out.
Yeah, we need to
Cheers.
do something about it.
He's still whispering.